Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin H, and today I'm going to tell you about the truck that's just a demon. If you do very many customs, what's going to happen is you're going to have that truck as just a devil, or it could be any diecast project you're working on. It's going to vex you, it's going to haunt you, it's going to take too long, it's going to tick you off. That's what's happened with me, and I'll share that with you. So here we have Colin's truck. This is one of the brand new Mack Superliners from Diecast Promotions. This is a replica of the truck on their farm. If you're familiar with the Mack Superliner, this is the one that came with the sleeper. So that was the color scheme. So basically I had to strip it down and then rebuild it. But that's, you know, and if you've watched my channel very long, you know that's what we do here. So you're gonna kind of lose me in the camera here because I'm gonna stand up and then I'll kind of point to some things and get you some close-up shots on what I did to make this replica and why it was just kind of it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. Anyways, I won't get into too much detail about that, but here you go. So this is the Mack Superliner. The stock truck came with a sleeper and the frame is not stretched at stock. So the sleeper came off. It did have a pair of stovepipes with mufflers that were on here. They're attached to the back of the cab. Those came off and replaced with what you see here. The truck was black, so I just had to strip the old one, strip it down, and then repaint it. Now, the big thing that's different on the Mack Superliner compared to the replica here, the Mack Superliner stock, out of the package, it has air cans on it, and then it also has a groove in the sleeper where a tube goes from the air cans into the engine compartment and then connects to something here in the engine compartment, blah, blah, blah. And those air cans are on both sides. So as you can see here, right there, you can see kind of some dimples there where the air cans were. I had to fill those in. Then, like I'd mentioned, there we go. You can kind of see here. Now, this line you can't see anymore because, like I said, there was a groove that came around, much like on a W900A or a 359P. Same kind of concept here. So a piece of styrene plastic was put in, that part right there in that groove, glued in place, body filler, sanded smooth, and now you can't see that line anymore. So that was sealed up to make that happen. The factory truck has, what kind of tanks does that have? It had round fuel tanks. I had to go look in the scrap part and leftover parts. It had fuel tanks with a step on it, round fuel tanks with a step on it. The real truck in real life has a pair of steps on both sides. And these are Peterbilt 379/89 takeoff steps that I had in my parts bin and were put in place. And then these are miter cut pipes that are out one of my 3D designs that I had made, and they were cut shorter to match the original, to match the real truck, and then put in place. The problem I had is this exhaust here is in the way of the driveline. I mean, you really can't put a driveline in there just to get it all, because it's just kind of a pain, really. I wish I could put a driveline in there. There's really no logical way to do that. And the reason for that is these exhaust pipes were, if you look, on the real truck, they stuck out wider than the cab on the real truck. So I wanted to replicate that part of the, I wanted to replicate that, get that as close as I could. So what I did was underneath here, it's difficult to see, but I glued right here the pipes to the frame, and then this headache rack I also glued, how do we show that? I glued the pipes to the headache rack, and in real life it almost looks like, and from the photos that I've got, that the exhaust is bolted to the headache rack on the real truck. I couldn't say that for sure, but that's what it sure looks like. Okay, these triple fenders are not on the real, I think they're going to be on the real truck. In the photos I have, they're not on the real truck, but that's what Colin wanted, so that's what he's got. These were brass from Truckin' Little. I actually carry these in my store if you want to set for yourself. I shot those with Molotov chrome, And then the third axle, this is a triaxle truck in real life. The third axle, that came off of, that was a takeoff part off of a triaxle I had here in the shop. I also have these 3D printed, so if you do want one, you can get basically a replica of a DCP triaxle piece in my store. And yeah, so why did this take so long and what were some of the troubles? Okay, well, one of the troubles was the paint barfed on me twice and I had to redo the paint. So that was one of the troubles. And it's just getting this truck took months because one, it was delayed several times from China. So just getting the truck here was just a huge delay. I mean, Colin, hopefully, he sounds like he's been pretty patient, and I am grateful because, you know, that was well out of my control. And I told him, I said, you know, just keep waiting, guy. I mean, they're coming, they're on a boat, you know, with COVID and everything. Supposedly, the rumor mill has it that the Superliners were stuck in a container on a boat, and they were sitting out in the Pacific near LA where they're offloaded, and it was just waiting. It was in the queue to be unloaded, and that was part of the trouble, and then just lots of delays. Anyways, they showed up in March, and then I got to work on this one, getting it to look like what it does now. So, and then, you know, or just some other odd things. I don't know why. It just seems, I just kept saying, why is this so hard? It should not be taking this long. But it just seems like I couldn't get in a groove, and it was just weird. It was just so weird. Anyway, it happens. I've had other projects do the same thing where it's just a fist fight from beginning to end. You know, you think you got it right, and then the paint pukes, and then the decals puke, and it's like, oh, I broke a part, now you got to go order another part, you know, and it's just this one thing after another. It's like, oh, will this ever come to an end? Well, luckily, I finally got this one done today after about a month and a half, so hallelujah. I'm excited to get Colin his truck and get down the road. So if this happens to you, take your time, walk away, take a deep breath. It will get done. You will get your project completed, and then you can go down the road and do something else. So hope this video is a little encouragement for you in your diecast journey. If you haven't done so, go check out diecastlab.com. I will give you all the help I have. I live by this. You can't read it right in the shot, but it's teach everything you know. That's something I live by. I want everyone to have a cool and awesome diecast. So go check out diecastlab.com. And if this video helps you, share it with a friend. I'd appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.